Okay. I want to welcome everybody. Official time 6 o'clock. I want to welcome to the November 3rd, 2020 meeting. This time I'd like to call this meeting to order. Can we have an approval of the agenda?
So move, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Thank you. It's our pleasure tonight. We've got Chris Pope with the Arrow and Shields Youth Group. Is going to lead us in the invocation and pledge. And afterwards, you just tell us a little bit about your group. We'd love to hear about it.
Stand right here.
Just come up forward with your group and make sure the microphone's on.
I want to thank you guys for having us here. Would you prefer the prayer and pledge first?
Whatever you'd like to do.
Well, let me tell you about us real quick first. We are a small little youth group with the purpose of teaching young people between the ages, 5th grade to about 10th grade, some essential life skills. One of the things that we pride ourselves on is getting our kids involved with public speaking and taking a lot of action in the community, make the community better. We're also very, we're accepting of anyone and everyone, and we want to make an environment that is welcoming for everybody. So with that in mind, we are strictly, we do not have any religious or political discussion during our meetings. We do encourage people to have an opinion, and we fight for their right, of course, to express it. But within our meetings, we keep it no religion, no politics. Focus on helping out where we can. Yeah, that's about it.
Thank you very much. Great.
All right. So I'd like to start with a prayer, if that's okay.
Thank you.
Our precious Heavenly Father, thank you for this opportunity to come together as a community, as family, as friends, as brothers and sisters. We will be working together to make our community and our lives better and the lives of our neighbors better. We come to you and ask for your guidance and help and at this end, to this end. Father, please help us get through the next couple of weeks. We're hoping that there's acceptance for whoever is elected in all stations, from local government on up to our federal government. In Jesus' holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
My son Christopher would like to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Sure.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic of which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much. Hold on before you leave.
I love how colorful y'all are. It's cheery. I know.
I'm sorry. Thank you all very much. You did a
Thank you,
great job.
guys.
Thank
Thank
y'all.
you.
Welcome back anytime.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, we move on tonight toward planning and zoning. At this time, I'm going to ask Mr. Petrowski to come in. With all planning and zoning hearings, we give if anybody's here in opposition to this request, you'll also get an opportunity to speak, but we'll hear both sides. Mr. Petrowski.
Chairman, our only item this evening is a request by Chris Williams to allow an additional lot on a private road because this exceeds the minimum or the maximum allowed 3 lots without road frontage on a public road. Variance is required. Because this is a variance, there's not a recommendation from staff or the Planning Commission.
Okay. Mr. Williams, you want to come up?
I'm Chris Williams, and I live at 793 Green Settlement Road, which is the corner of Green Settlement and Green Branch Drive. I'm requesting a variance for the end of Green Branch Drive. I want to build a house there on it's between 5 and a 6 acre lot. I'm just trying to downsize. I'm getting a little older here. I'm trying to eliminate them stairs. But this lot is at the very end of Green Settlement and will be the end, Green Branch Drive, and will be the end of Green Branch Drive. in building the house, or in buying the lot, I'll also be assuming ownership of Green Branch Drive from Buddy Green. There was some questions about as far as maintenance of the road. I'll assume, as just the other lot owners, as covenants say, my part in maintenance of the road. Being the owner of the road, I certainly, and I've got to drive from one end to the other, I'm certainly going to maintain the road. The covenants now say that it's evenly split between the lots that are on Green Branch Drive, and again, there's 4 of them. 2 of the lots owned by Darrell Cameron and 1 by Josh Hammock. I brought Mr. Hammock with me today. He doesn't have any problem. Mr. Cameron is opposed to it. I approached Mr. Cameron about combining his 2 lots because he doesn't want anyone to build on that lot, and it's only feasible in the future if he's going to sell to combine them 2 lots because he's going to have difficulty selling it. Mr. Cameron wasn't in favor of that idea. Also, by combining his lots, he also would lose. There would only be 3 lots on that place, and the maintenance we've split between 3 people instead of 4. Because as it stands now, with 4 lots, he's going to have to pay half of the maintenance, and the other 2 lots pay the other 2. So, I'm requesting a variance if I can to build at the end of Green Branch Drive.
Any questions from Mr. Williams?
So Green Branch dead ends into the property that you're talking about putting
That's
on?
correct, it does.
And you live on this corner of
I
Green
live at the
Branch?
corner of Green Branch and Green Settlement Road.
I got you.
Any other questions from Mr. Williams? Okay, thank you, Mr. Bell.
Thank
Anybody like to come forward in opposition to this request? Come up this time. Just state for the record your name and your address for the.
Okay. Darrell Cameron, take this off.
That's fine.
I live at 138 Green Branch Drive, and I have lots 124 and 138. Just give you a little brief history of why I'm here in Jones County. I lived over in Monroe County for 20 years, and we had purchased a piece of land over there, 26 acres, built a house right in the middle of it. We were completely surrounded by Georgia Craft timberland. We was in paradise. Well, Georgia Craft got out of the timber business, sold all that land off. Speculators come in, chopped it up in 5-acre tracts, $250 down, you could move in. So you can imagine what happened. And I'd built a 3,200 square foot brick house, trying to be nice. Well, after Ann and I got married, and she has children here, I had children in Macon, Milledgeville, we wanted to relocate and get closer by. Well, we happened to find this piece of land at the end of Green Branch Drive that Larry Avant had just finished building the house. It was at the dead end. There was a lot available between me and my next neighbor, and I could buy it, and that was paradise, and that's what we call it. And we've been living there for 19 years now and hadn't had any problem. Then all of a sudden the other day I get a telephone call in the Saturday morning that says, got a deal for you, want you to combine your lots. Only thing that's going to change is instead of getting 2 tax bills, you get 1 bill. I said, that don't sound right. A lot more to it than that. So I've been checking into it, and of course, if I combine the lots and that other lot, if I needed down the road to sell it or wanted to sell it, I could do it as it is. But if we combine it, you can't do that unless you sell it to an adjoining lot. So I'm opposed to that. I'm opposed to it because the traffic that will increase on that road. Green Branch Drive is just a gravel driveway, 1 lane, in and out, just 1 lane. And it's a hilly piece of property, and it's got 2 blind spots, bad blind spots in it, so I don't want any more traffic on that road than we have to have. And I think this would be not only an inconvenience, but a hazard to put another house back there and more traffic. And the other thing is, why, if he buying a piece of property out of a 26-acre tract, why can't he come in a road off of a public road, Ed Green Road, that's up on the other side of it? That's a possibility. Or he could come in off Dye Road. He don't have to come down the private drive. And that would, well, that's probably not for this, but why was Ed Lee Drive changed from private to public? Italy Road.
Can't comment on that one.
Because it had come under that, there was like 9 or 10 property parcels that fed off of that road, so therefore it couldn't be a private road, could it? Because you can only have 3. Now, what's coming next? What's coming after you get this lot out of this 26-acre tract that's being cut out of? What's coming behind that? That's where I'm concerned. And that's all. That's all my comments.
All right. Any questions
Any questions?
from the board?
So the road itself now belongs to who? Is it partially owned by all 4?
Buddy Green, as I understand it, Buddy Green currently owns it. 60-foot wide right of way, approximately just a tad over 900 feet long. And it comes in off Green Settlement Road, it dips down a steep hill and up a hill, and then over another hill.
But Chris Williams is willing to take over the road if the variance is approved? Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
But that would be 3 homes there then?
Yes.
There will be 3 then.
Three homes, 4 lots.
But I can still sell my one lot that doesn't have anything on it. And if you tie me up and combine it with that other lot, then that restricts my ability to sell that lot if I need to or wanted to.
Well,
Is that
Then
true?
we'd be
this
back.
would allow an additional, it would allow a 4th,
That allow 4 lots off one.
instead of it being
3.
restricted to 3 is the request being made.
So it wouldn't keep you from selling that lot for somebody else to build there, what I'm saying.
It wouldn't combine his two.
No.
Right, and it wouldn't prevent him from selling his 1 acre lot. I just want to be clear on it, that's it.
Right.
Okay.
Well, let's see, it would be 4 lots off of the one private road, is that correct? Or is there 4 lots now?
Yeah.
Well, no, it would
It's
be.
4
we're allowed-
lots now.
We're
Well,
allowing 4 lots.
no, Mr. Williams' lot doesn't come off Green Branch Drive, it comes off Green Settlement Road.
There's 3 now, and the request is to allow for 1 additional, which exceeds the limit of 3. So it would allow for 4 to come off of that property instead of 3, 2 of which would still remain this gentleman's. That
Right.
wouldn't combine those legally. It would just allow 1 additional.
But we'd still be able to build a house on his lot,
Yes.
even though we do it. So it's not gonna restrict you from selling your lot if somebody wants to build on it. Does that makes, what-
Well, the other thing, if you buy a place with the intent like I did to be protected by zoning order, zoning compliance orders, and then you turn around and override it, what's that gonna tell people in the future that wanna buy a place that's got covenants and restrictions on it? All they gotta do is go back and get them changed, get a variance on it, and then you're out again. So what's that gonna do to people in the future? Contractors as well as personal individuals.
any other questions?
We need to also see if there's anybody else that was
Yeah.
here to speak in for or
Is
against.
there anyone else here speaking in for or against this request? You can come forward. Just for the record, if you can introduce yourself and your address.
Josh Hammock. I live at 118 Green Branch Drive. I'm not opposed to the matter. My personal opinion, it's not coming from Chris, not coming from Daryl, is that basically if Chris lives at the end of the road, well, we're not going to continue the road on any further. We're not going to run it through his house. So, that would be, seems to me like that would be, the end of it. That entrance there is a gate at the end of Green Branch that's already used by Mr. Dan Green, and I assume Mr. Buddy Green to access their property as they need. Personally, I don't see that it changes the traffic in any significant way. We're all very careful going up and down the road as it is. So that's all I got.
All right, thank you. Anyone else?
Can I come clarify something?
We need clarification.
Go ahead.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Mr. Cameron made the comment or suggestion that what would stop this from continuing on, Green Branch Drive is gonna stop at my lot. The tax assessor's map is somewhat deceiving, as it shows the Green Branch Drive going down past my lot. That's not the case. That lot stops at that 26-acre tract. It doesn't continue on past. That's gonna be the end of Green Branch Drive. The only way that anybody can get, I mean, that would be my property there. There's no more access to any of that land back there. So there's not a chance of building. That 26 acres also does not go to Dye Road to come in from Dye Road or any other road. That's the only access to that 5-acre lot will be from Green Branch Drive if we cut out the 5-acre lot. So there won't be a continuation of homes being built on and on and on back through there. At least not coming from Green Branch Drive. They got to come from some other way. Because that will be the end of Green Branch Drive.
Any questions?
Any other for? or
Thank you.
against?
Anyone else for or against would like to come forward tonight? No one else? What's the will of the board?
One more clarification, Chairman. So the road that comes in now is shared by 2 homes and 3 lots. So it's Mr. Hammock and Mr. Cameron's has homes on 3 lots, 2 houses on 3 lots. This back lot is existing, and the road's gonna dead end into that lot that he's wanting a variance for, and he's gonna own the road and maintain the road, or is it still gonna be split between?
It'll still be split. I'll just
Okay.
make the 4th lot. As long as it's 4 lots there, the covenants say the maintenance will be split between the lots on Green Branch Drive. So there'll be 4 lots there. So as long as there's 4 lots, it'll be split 4.
Okay.
Anyway. But yes, I will assume ownership. Mr. Green has already said that he's going to deed me the road because it cuts him off. He no longer has any need for it. So he's going to give me the road, so the road will be deeded to me, yes.
And then he's gonna access the remaining acreage from his current property he owns now,
Right,
correct?
he's got he can access it from Dye Road,
Like his property, but it's the other side of that 26 acre.
right.
Okay, so he owns this property
He's got
back
3
here.
or 4 accesses from Dye Road to that property. For his remaining.
I'm presuming I'm seeing, this road doesn't go to Lee Road. This 26 acres is right at the dead end? Is that what it is?
26 acres.
I mean, the 5 acres you're looking at is right at the off the dead end of Green Branch, correct?
Well, it shows Green Branch going past the 5 acres, which it does not. It actually stops at the front of that 26 acre tract.
I've got you. So right now, this Green Branch Road is servicing that 26 acres. That's the access he's using.
That's correct.
Okay. So it's actually, when I'm looking at it, it looks like it's already a part of this 26 acre tract's a part of the
It is.
Green Branch. Been a long time since I've been back in there, but I know where you're at now.
I can fully understand Mr. Cameron's hesitancy and even, purchasing the property, want to be exclusive in that area. But it almost appears that the road went back to that property, so it's not like it's a new piece of property or it's just wanting to put another dwelling back there. If that's the dead end of the road, I don't see it causing through traffic. I mean, the only increased traffic would be the homeowners themselves. I wouldn't have an issue with it.
Was there a motion? Is there a motion?
Make a motion.
Yeah, I make a motion to approve the variance.
No. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
A second.
Okay. Any more discussion? If none, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Let's have it. Thank y'all. Thank you, Tim. Well, we move on tonight to board appointments. We've got two different board appointments, both for the Tax Assessor Board. We have appointment for Steve Hanley to the Tax Assessors Board for a 6-year term. I think, Commissioner Kitchens, this is your district.
Yep. I've looked over the application. Glad to have him on board if he's willing. I'll make a motion to approve the application.
All right, we have a motion to approve.
Second.
Second. Any more discussion? None. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Okay. We've got appointment of Sherry Morgan to Tax Assessor Board for 6-year term. Commissioner Martin, I think this is your appointment.
Yes, sir. She's going to turn in her app as well, so I'm motioning to approve her.
We have a motion to approve. We have a second.
Second.
Commissioner Pitts, second. Any discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Thank you.
Do we have her application?
She's getting
Oh, okay.
We've got consent agenda approval for minutes. We had a work session on October 20th, 2020. We also had the third Tuesday and executive session that same night. Everybody had an opportunity to look at the minutes, and if so, there's no changes. Need a motion to approve.
So move, Mr. Chairman.
We have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
Second. Any discussion? None. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Move on to new business. Mr. Ingham, you got a bid award for a new deep well water supply.
Yes, sir. On October the 27th, we opened bids here for the new well number 10 deep well water supply for the Henderson plant. Sam Martin Well Drilling and Greens Water Wells submitted. We recommend award to Greens Water Wells for $370,756. Funding will come out of the new construction account. There's currently $1,318,625 in that account tonight.
All right.
Great. Any questions for Mr. Ingham?
We've been talking about it long enough. Motion to approve award for a new deep wells water supply.
Second by Commissioner Martin and Commissioner Robinson. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Equipment auction for golf course. Mr. Golan? That time of year again, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Good evening, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. Again, it's that time for the turf auction down in Moultrie. And this year I need to ask permission to purchase 3 pieces of equipment if they have it. One is a second greens mower. The reason we need a second greens mower is we're trying to restructure our time management. What we can do is be able to send off one of our staff off the back nine, one staff off the front nine to be able to cut the greens faster in the mornings. Currently, right now, what we do is just one person goes out and they cut. It takes about 2.5, right at 3 hours. If we split and send them off simultaneously, we can accomplish that task faster, which makes the golfers transition into the course a lot easier and more time efficient. So, ask permission to do that. Looking to spend no more than $7,000 on that piece of equipment. Need a utility cart, another utility cart. This is going to help out with the additional staff that y'all approved for us to pick up and start utilizing. Like to spend no more than $6,000 on that piece of equipment. And then either a new zero-turn mower or a finishing mower to go on back of a tractor. And not to spend no more than $3,000 on that piece of equipment. And this will be a total of $16,000 coming out of the Golf Splash, which currently has a remaining balance of $31,000 in it.
Sorry about that, Chairman.
That's all right, you fine. You need anything, John? While you're down there?
John does, not to speak, let me tell him about the.
He said your blower last time, didn't he?
Yeah, but we need a motor on it. That thing using, I don't know how much oil. And Matt and them sent somewhere and said the motor's gone on.
So he bought a defect for you last time, didn't he? Much as John's done for y'all can't get him good equipment.
Well,
Much as John has brought y'all.
well, sometimes things happen, unfortunately. But what we would like to do, me and John talking, not to speak for John, but me, John, and Jason all had this conversation. We would like to look to see if they have a blower. His mechanical part of the blower works fine.
Yeah.
Yes, it's the actual horsepower motor part itself. So what we would like to do is look for a piece of equipment that has the motor we can simply replace to spend no more than $2,500 on that piece of equipment. If not, then what we'll do is come back and we've got bids for anywhere from, I think, 28 to 33 to purchase a new motor to go on that. So we want to try to find something down there to save some money. If not, then we'll come back and go through a different route.
What size motor is it?
I think it's 8 horsepower. Is that right? Or is that a little bit bigger?
That's only like 24.
Is it?
Like a gas Kohler or something like that? They got a Kohler engine or
It
something
does,
like that?
yes.
When is the auction?
It is December the 8th, December 8th in Moultrie. What we do is go down on a Monday, and it gives us a chance to walk the lot and put our hands on all the equipment and do our research. Then you go back on Tuesday for the actual auction.
Any questions for Mr. Golan? Commissioner Martin, any questions?
No, sir.
Commissioner Robinson? No question?
Should I make the motion to approve him spending up to $16,000 on the items that he listed?
Motion, we have a second?
Second.
Second from Commissioner Robinson. If there's no more discussion, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. FY 21 LMIG list. Mr. Lowe, I think you and Mr. Risner both were working on this one, aren't you?
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman,
Go ahead.
I was just going to mention to the board that I added this to the agenda, thinking that the LMIG deadline has always been December 31st, at least in recent memory. And so I was thinking we just had a few meetings left to get this sorted out before that deadline. They are giving us an additional month this year, so the application isn't due until February 1st. So no pressure to get this sorted out right away. But if you are able to, we can go ahead and get moving with the bid documents and that kind of thing. But no pressure to do that. So just wanted to mention that before we got started.
Highlights, John, what's changed since last year? As far as the list? Just because I don't have the other one.
I don't think anything's really changed. I mean, Homer Roberts is about the worst road in the county. I mean, it's pretty bad. But that's gonna just about take all the money on it. According to my figures, what Jason gave me, we'll have like $97,106 left. And I mean, if y'all want to do some of these other smaller roads down here, Whitehead, Liberty Ridge, and Perthune Avenue off of New Clinton,
Yeah, I
that
think-
comes out to be like $94,544 to do them three.
I would definitely say we don't want to leave money on the table, so if we can get them, I'm all for it with them. So,
Or do we just leave out Royal Lane?
yeah, what about Royal Lane? Because if we're going down the list on ones that can be done, you know, we still want to go by priority as far as the ratings on the road. So if we're going down the, would we
I mean,
do-
we can do Royal Lane instead of doing Bethune, you know? Or either we can go and do Confederate. But, I mean, if y'all want to do Royal Lane,
And the reason I say because it's number 6 on the list.
right.
And you said we had right at 94,000 left over. So,
I mean, we could do it and maybe do, or we could go and do Luke Smith, but you're still dropping way down. I mean, that's 8 on the list.
Well, none of the ones before that can be done with $90,000. So we're talking about the 90,000. So my opinion would either be Royal Lane, and then pick up what else we can do for the 90,000, or we start with Confederate. So we know that's 96, 97, Jason. We don't think there's any way we could get Royal Lane and Confederate.
I think it's possible. We can certainly, you know, in other years we've bid out certain roads as an ad alternate type thing, and so that's a possibility there. Also, Tim's gone. I was talking to Tim earlier today, just talking about LMIG and different things, and And I think he enlightened me on a way we can get some additional match using like the clipping of the shoulders and the broom work and all that we do anyway. We typically haven't put that towards our match, but there's a way that we can do that. So so that might free up some additional cash to be able to do some of those others. So that's a long answer to your question. I think it's possible that you could, just sort of depending on where asphalt prices are and that kind of thing at the time.
That'd probably be my recommendation to do 6 and 7. Do Homer Roberts and then 6 and 7. Because none of the other ones we can get close to. Just my thoughts.
I said it'll work, especially if you can do
Well, if
the-
we do Homer Roberts and do 6 and 7, now you going over another $100,000, 'cause that's 31 and 83.
So you're over by only 10.
114, and we got 96 left over.
97
Yeah,
is what
so
I got figured.
That's about 17 over.
Yeah.
On that-
So we ought to
Puts
be.
you real close to that Overland Way then, which is number 3.
I mean, yeah.
But this proposal that Jason had, do you feel like you can come up with this 17,000?
I can find that
Okay.
somewhere, I feel like.
Because if you can come up with a 17,000, then we'll have enough to do those three: Homer Roberts, Royal, and Confederate.
Well, Ashley just said that puts us close to the Overland Way, 125, which is third on the list.
And I mean, it's hard to figure this out right now because you don't know what the asphalt prices might do. A suggestion might be to just bid out Homer Roberts as your base bid and then do those other 3 as your add alternates. And then you figure it out when the prices come back.
Sure.
Right.
Sounds good to me.
I agree with that. Well, we do need to stick with the order of, because if we're evaluating these roads and they're based on priority, based on needs, if we start jumping around, that's where we get right back in the old accusations that we had in the past that we're just moving around on the list. I don't want to be accused of that. We need to stick, if this is grading the roads, then we need to stick to the list.
I mean, if it's gonna be that close, I just soon do Overland, if we could come up with the extra money.
How about that?
And then them top 3 will be gone, be done.
Well, I think that's what he said. We're gonna do.
Well,
Homer
not the
Roberts.
top 3, but number 1 and number 3 will be done.
So we're gonna put on the list Homer Roberts, Overland, Royal, and Confederate, and see how far down it we can go.
Yeah.
If it's
Yeah.
only 1, it's 1. If it's 2, it's 2. If it's all 3, we get on to
And y'all can just figure out when the bids come back, when you go to do the bid award, you just, award the base bid and whatever the add alternates, we could cover. But that way you'll know really how much money we're talking. I mean, we've got prices here, but,
That's estimated.
yeah, and it, that, there's no telling where they'll be by the time we get the bids back.
Homer Roberts might be below that, because we're basically going to have to go through it like we did Comer and redo the whole deal.
Yes, that's already figured in with this, reclamation and everything.
We have a motion on the table as far as how to proceed on LMIG, on the list.
Yep. I make a motion that we proceed with Homer Roberts and add alternates for Overland Way, Royal, and Confederate. Is that ones? Yeah. With the LMIG funds.
Okay, we have a second. Any more discussion? Commissioner Martin?
I was just crunching numbers trying to make it work, but I'm in agreement with that, so.
All right. Anybody else? All right. There's no more discussion. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Ayes has it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Risen, we have our first reading tonight of our broadband ordinance.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. We talked about this, I believe, at the last meeting, and this is based on a template, I believe, that comes from Department of Community Affairs. This is something that the county has to adopt in order to work towards the broadband ready designation. So you have the ordinance there in your packet. And this would be the first reading that you would approve tonight, and then the second reading at the next meeting, and that would be the final adoption. I'll just mention a couple things here, just to make you guys aware of. Talking with different people about this, and just a few things were pointed out to me. Just, I don't know if they're concerns, but just things to be aware of. But part of the trade-off here is that that you give up some flexibility in the permit review process. So this lays out deadlines for how quickly you have to review applications from providers, and it says we have to determine whether the application is complete within 10 days. If you don't do that, it's assumed complete on the 11th day. We don't charge right-of-way permit review fees right now, but this says if you do that, it can't be any higher than $100. So, I mean, I guess the thing to be aware of there is that you could end up with very large applications that need substantial review, and your fee is capped at $100. So there's some things like that, some trade-offs where you give up some of your local control of the permitting process, but based on how we do things right now, I don't think it's unworkable. Certainly, I mean, it just that just came up in conversation with somebody else about the broadband topic, and just wanted to pass that along to you before you took any action on it.
So the question is, can you ask for additional time if you feel like you need it? I understand it says 10, but hey, listen, after reviewing this, we need some additional time or additional counsel before we can make a decision?
Not unless you include that in the ordinance,
That's what I was thinking.
based upon whoever's assigned to undergo the review, if additional time is needed,
Right. So I would ask that we add that, especially, with your legal counsel giving us advice that, yes, we want to, but if we feel like additional time is needed, then we need to, make sure we include it.
Yeah. Is the DCA document restricted so that if you don't adopt it as is, it's not?
I'd have to ask that
Or
question.
or is it more of a model ordinance? Because I would think that each county would want to, kind of fine tune it to their needs, because I'm sure $100 might not be something that we've charged a lot, but if, what about Fulton County?
Yeah.
I would think that they would charge something, especially if they had some kind of broadband initiative that comes in. It's a $25 million project.
Mm-hmm.
With all the design and engineering going in for $100, that's a lot more staff time than that involved in it, I'm sure, reviewing it. So I would think we'd be able to. Maybe that's the question we ask from DTA is there any wiggle room in this? And if it is, like Mr. Pitts said, we can add a line in there that says unless due diligence is needed to do something else. And I really don't see when it starts talking about $100 shall be considered unreasonable, that's really restrictive language. I would prefer to see that just taken out altogether, so that and it just say reasonable cost, because each county should be able to determine what's reasonable based on their area. But I guess first question is, can we adjust any of it and still be a DCA viable?
Yeah, we could certainly find that out and let you know.
And if there's any tweaks we can make, we'll adjust some of those things and just present it back to the board.
And we can still consider this first reading though, right? And adjust it, or do we have to do another first reading if we change anything?
If we change something, we'll need to do another first reading. If it stays as is, then this is the first reading.
humans just a little bit.
That's what all rule breakers say.
It's only 10 miles over the speed limit.
All right, well,
But if we change it tonight and read it that way, it's okay for the first reading, or we have to give notification of another first reading?
If we make changes, we need to have another first reading.
okay. And I mean, that's a.
Are
that's
we
a-
on a deadline to adopt this for our broadband ready? Okay.
No,
Good.
no, we're fine. It's just, like I said, it was something we wanted to try to do. And like I said, I'm glad we're here, we're discussing it, and, hope we had it on the agenda for the next meeting, so Chad, if you go and add it,
Yeah, we'll make sure to.
and then we can, go from there. So if we don't make, we're gonna make adjustments, so.
Was there any other changes that we needed to?
Do you see anything that jumped out at you, Ashley, where it was okay, or?
I had those same concerns when Jason and I discussed it, that it certainly restricted us much more than we currently restrict ourselves.
Right.
And so, if we can make changes, we'll review back through this and see if there's anything substantially different than our current process that we may want to tweak.
Good.
We need a motion for the changes to be made on this first reading?
Well, I think we need to first find out if changes will be allowed, if it's a model ordinance or
Sure.
it's mandated that it
Okay.
remains as is. So let's just
Table it for further review.
postpone,
Postpone it.
a motion to postpone to the next meeting.
Make a motion to postpone the ordinance for broadband ready community until the next meeting for further information.
Second.
Second. Any more discussion? None, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Thank you. First reading of the Animal Services Ordinance, Ms. Rudner.
And Mr. Chairman, I'm going to, if it's okay, hand this one off to Ashley and Jennifer.
And this will actually not be a first reading. This is going to be more of an introduction to some problems with our current ordinances that Jennifer would like to share with you all. And I have drafted some revisions to address those problems. And so if the board is so inclined to make ordinance changes, then we'll schedule the first reading at the next meeting.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So I'll make this short and sweet, kind of quick. Just some of the highlights. We were having some issues with the language of some of the sections. In order for us to be able to make things more streamlined and, accessible to us in court. So just quickly, in one of the section 14.2, we just added some language in there for additional fines for like first, second, and third failure to confine offenses. We were also having an issue with some nuisance ordinances, and so we added in a section for repeated nuisance offenses. Other than just some, verbiage change here and there, a couple of years ago we changed our name from Animal Control to Animal Services, so services is changed a lot in certain sections in here, but other than that, the one of the other big sections that we added was feral cats into the ordinance, where we don't have that right now. Would allow us to humanely dispose of feral cats in a timely manner, so we didn't have to hold them as far as the ordinance states now. Other than that, that's like the big highlights, I think, that we were asking to change.
And so the actual language you all will have access to and review at the next meeting. But if you're so inclined to entertain those ordinance changes, we can have a motion to postpone the first reading, and let's place that on the next meeting for you all to see the ordinance changes.
So I'm trying to make the motion, we postpone the first reading and have it to the next agenda.
We have a second?
Second.
Second. Any more discussion? None, all in favor, aye?
Thank you.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Thank y'all so
Good
much.
job.
Thank you.
Transit resolution.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, this is the annual resolution that the board considers that starts the transit funding process with GDOT and with the US DOT. So it's just the standard resolution that we have to, or that the board has to consider every year to get that funding process started.
Any questions from Mr. Risner? None, I entertain a motion for the resolution.
Mr. Chairman, the motion will accept the transit resolution.
A second, from Commissioner Martin. Any discussion? None, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Ayes have it, thank you. Bid award for sheriff cars.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. The board approved issuing an invitation to bid on 7 Dodge Chargers for the sheriff's office. We received 3 bids. The low bid was from Beck Auto Sales in the amount of $25,874 per vehicle. Talked with the sheriff's office, and they've talked with this vendor. The vendor can ship the vehicles directly to Forsyth, where they're outfitted with all the various equipment, and so they recommended going with the low bidder there, Beck Auto Sales.
Sir, I make a motion, we accept the bid from Beck Auto Sales.
We have a second?
Second.
Second, Commissioner Martin. Any more discussion? None, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Ayes, thank you. Bid award for mountain bike trail design. Mr. Risner, you're busy tonight, aren't you?
Yes, sir. So the board also authorized issuing a request for proposals for design of a mountain bike trail there at the Matty Wells Complex on Highway 49. And we received one bid by the deadline. That was from Pond and Company in the amount of $17,275. And you have that in your packet. And so that's all I have on that.
Any questions from Mr. Risner on the bid design or comments?
This is just to design the track.
Yes, that's correct.
Is there any project management that goes along with it after, if an award? Do they make sure that the construction meets the design?
I don't think that's contemplated by this proposal.
Only reason I ask is we put it out to bid and we get a construction company that knows how to move dirt and build berms and trails, and they don't match the design exactly. How do we, who do you point the finger at? The contractor or the design? And most time, if you have an architect design a building, they're there to say, no, this is the way I designed it. You need to build it that way.
Yeah.
But it would,
Yeah, I don't think that was contemplated in the RFP, and I don't think that it's included in the description of work here.
So does that need to be added?
I think if we're gonna get what we're paying for, we need to know what the design is.
Okay.
Have somebody that can say, yes, that's how it's supposed to be done. Somebody's got to answer to it.
either that, or we're gonna have to restrict the bidders for the construction to people that have built mountain bike trails, which is gonna probably restrict our competition.
What's the will of the board?
Commissioner Martin, you got any thoughts on it?
Well, I was trying to listen really closely, but I heard some paper moving, so you got a little choppy. And here's my concern, which might be yours. It sounds like having the design without continuity with the construction company is a concern, correct?
Yes.
Is that something that we should have built into the request for specs? Or the
Probably,
RFP?
yeah, probably so, and most of them do it as a percentage of cost, so, you could probably since you didn't have any other bidders, you could probably negotiate and ask for a percentage of admin costs, project administration for it.
And I'm comfortable with that. If you guys are comfortable, then I would probably ask maybe Tim, if he was in the room, if that was something that falls in the wheelhouse of what they would normally experience as well.
Tim's not in, he's left at this time.
All right. And I lean to Sam because he has more experience in this area than all of us.
Sad shape. We could get Jason to contact them, ask them, could they put a percentage on it, and I mean, we know what market rate is for design and project management.
Can you get a bid based on the request of the will of the board? Motion on that part?
This is coming out of the last SPLOST money, right?
Right, this plus that Commissioner Martin had available at this time.
Right. I'd make a motion to approve with the contingency that we talked to them about project management for it. Because it talks about budget and cost control and all that, project approach. I almost have a feeling that they've got it in there somewhere, because how do you control cost and oversee budget and all that without managing the project? Because if you just turned over design to us and we pay you for it and you're out, you can't effectively control cost or even the approach to the project. So I may reword it to say to confirm with the bidder that they have project management in their scope.
Sure. All right. So we've got an amended motion.
Yes, I didn't get a second. Can I restate my
Okay.
motion?
Why don't you clarify your motion?
Clarify my motion. There you go. Make a motion to approve the award for mountain bike trails design with the confirmation that project management is included in it.
No, we have a motion. We have a second.
A second.
Second. Commissioner Martin, is your project. I'll take your second
Right,
first.
there you go.
Any more discussion? None, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Ayes have it. All right, we're moving on. You need that? Get what you want. I'll get it, flip it over. Oh, it's not on the back of this one, okay. No old business. Department heads, anybody tonight?
I'd like to say, I think Otis Red, and I think they threw paving.
All right, way to go, John.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's right.
Good deal, and they got it
Thank
in with all
you.
that weather coming in. Going?
Yes, sir. 4 or 5 things, I'll be quick. First thing is, I want to let y'all know about the, y'all may already know, but I want to just double check and make sure you know. The Wi-Fi project that we're teaming with the Board of Education, locations are Grisville Fire Station number 9, Grisville Industrial Park, Fire Station, which is 11, Haddock Community Park, Highway 18 Recreation Complex up by the playground, the Morris Bank Recreation Complex up by the playground. I think Animal Services already have theirs in place. She's already gone. I think theirs is already in place. Fire Station number 10 off 129, Juliet Fire Station, and Liberty Park. The parks, the Wi-Fi box will be stationed in the pavilions. They'll be mounted up in the top in the middle of the pavilion, protected like in a birdhouse type structure. Also on the side of the fire stations, they will not be inside the fire station. They'll be outside in the on the gables inside of a birdhouse type structure as well. These have a 300-foot radius. The only one that I need to get with John on, and me and Jason's talked a little bit about it, is the Industrial Park Fire Department. And I've also spoken with Don about it as well. We need to identify some parking in that particular fire station. That fire station doesn't really have any designated parking at it, but maybe we can go around back and just throw a 4 or 5 parking spot, a little pad right there that's within 300 feet of the building where this Wi-Fi hotspot will reach. So those are the locations that belong to us that will be getting a Board of Education Wi-Fi hotspot put into it hopefully in the next couple weeks.
Are they monitoring usage on it like we were doing with our
Yes, sir.
trial, just to see?
Yes, sir, they are. They are. And that was that. The walkathon we had last week, I'm glad to announce that we had 128 participants, and the amount of time that was tracked through each participant added up to 115 hours of exercise. So that was very good participation from our staff in that. So thank you all the department heads for allowing our staff to come participate in that event. Next Friday, November the 13th, we'll be having a unified foot golf tournament. That's I'm partnering with the Board of Education again with our unified program at Jones County High School. They'll be coming out doing the second annual foot golf tournament with them. It's about 80 kids, 80 persons involved, both partners and athletes. So if you're free that day, we'll get started about 8:30. End about 8:39 we'll get started. They'll end between 1 and 1:30 because they have to be back at school by 2. So if you get a chance that day, come out. It's a great day to see the kids really have a good time.
So, Matt, are other counties participating this year?
Not this year.
Okay.
Last year we had 3 other counties, but this year it's just ours.
Good.
What was the date again?
November 13th. It's on a Friday. 2 more things. One, I passed this out a little bit earlier. There's a couple of them laying up there. These is Mr. Martin, Commissioner Martin, you can't see, but what we have is a couple designs of BMX pump tracks. I think, Mr. Martin, you may be familiar with what a pump track is. But basically, it's a BMX bicycle track. We have a location at Morris Bank Recreation Complex that's designated for future parking that may or may not ever become future parking. I'll try and explain to you real quick. When you come into the big gravel parking lot and you drive down towards the very back of the park on the left-hand side, when you get to our yellow gate and our fence, just beyond that we have an area that is not being utilized for anything. We're just maintaining the grass there. What I like to do is potentially have y'all look at this and think about us partnering with Public Works and building a BMX track there. What it would be is just the community would be able to park in our existing parking lot and simply walk right there through the fence, not even a 100-foot walk, and they would be able to access the BMX bicycle track. Again, it's just another amenity that would give the community something to do and somewhere to go and still be within our safe confines of our parks to do so. These are just some design ideas that I pulled off the internet. This is not anything that we have to do. This is just 3 different little designs to give you an idea of what they look like. I'm not sure if the commissioner got one.
BMX, that's the little bitty bike with a little bitty tire.
Pretty much, yes, sir. But I mean, any bicycle can ride on it.
I don't think I can fit on one of them.
But any bicycle can ride on it. But yeah, when you use the term BMX, it's more like a little motocross style.
They sit there and jump around on.
Me and Mr. Jason was talking today. What's the name of the movie?
Rad.
Rad. Yeah. So if you hadn't seen the movie Rad, go to Netflix, watch the movie Rad, and you'll know what kind of track we're trying to build. But anyway, just an idea again for Morris Bank Recreation Complex as an idea to add another amenity to a space that's not being utilized for anything right now. The only cost is always a cost associated would be in-house labor. John bringing some dirt with his equipment and man hours and building it out. As far as maintaining it, explained to Mr. Risner today, we would maintain it just like we do our infields. It's hard compacted clay. And we wouldn't allow motorized vehicles on it, so therefore you wouldn't have big ruts being dug in. So we'd be able to maintain it with our current baseball field infield equipment. We wouldn't have to have any special equipment to maintain it once it's in place. So that's just something I want to throw at you and come back down the road for approval later on. And last but not least, I came to you a couple weeks ago to discuss goose hunting. I gave the chairman a pamphlet from Piedmont Wildlife Refuge and Bond Swamp. This is the information that they utilize to gather from the potential hunters. The goose season that we would be, I'm asking to participate in, obviously you can't vote tonight, so I'd have to get on the agenda, but some more information on that would be December the 12th through January the 31st. What I would be looking for is to come back for the first agenda, first meeting in December for approval, is to use the month of December to promote and advertise it, get the applications in, go through the process, same process Piedmont Refuge goes through, and then actually have the hunts in January. And we could break it out where we'd have a youth hunt first and then have an adult hunt after that. I know this has never been done before, something new. So again, I wanted to bring some more information and something I think it's never easy to publicly talk about shooting an animal, but goose hunting is something that literally happens. It's not something I'm making up.
Question, you gonna do a limited numbers and have a draw like they do here
Yes.
as far as that?
Yes, sir. Just like Piedmont. I spoke with the persons out there went out there and spoke with them and talking about it, and they told me I'm welcome to come back and dig up more information and everything. We could actually use their pamphlet there if we wanted to, or if you wanted me to get with Miss Ashley and create some of our own with our verbiage on it, we could do that. But again, I'm still asking for that permission. It's the most feasible way for us to eliminate a nuisance.
Is this ironic? Oh. Put something on that. We read it.
Jason's getting rad for y'all to watch.
Okay. Sorry.
So basically, you'll specify different dates and the number of hunters allowed, and they're gonna put down just like they did at Piedmont. then.
Correct. Yes, sir.
Okay.
That would be the process.
And
We would
the golf course would be closed those days that hunt.
we would hunt on 2 separate Mondays,
Right.
since we're already closed on those days, and all the staff would be reassigned to a Parks and Recreation location to work that day while this happened. And it would only be a morning time. It'd only be a couple hours in the morning, so it would be an all-day thing.
I really like the youth hunt, and I was just thinking while you were talking about it, if we thought about reaching out to a group like CCO, and I think that would be something really cool to, they got a lot of vetted programs already. It'd be something they could, I mean, if we're looking to, thin the herd,
Sure.
Yes, sir.
gives good opportunities for outreach and community partnerships and all
Right.
that.
You can bring us more information on the next meeting, present it to the board.
All right, so what I'll do is get, if it's okay with y'all, get on the agenda with Miss Shannon, and then I'll have everything I can have at that time. And in between now and then, I'll get with Miss Ashley and see, because I think Sam mentioned something about we may have to do a county variance to allow guns on county property.
It can be, yeah, if we do under like an event.
Yeah, I mean, I need to look at what we've got in place now. I'll
Commissioner
make sure
Martin?
to address that before it's back on the agenda.
Yeah, I don't know what ours says now, if it's,
Commissioner Martin, you have something you want to say?
I did, while Matt is ingeniously bringing on new activities, wanted to throw out there skateboarding, if there's space in that area. I don't know what our target market looks like, because I don't see very many kids in Jones County skateboarding, but there may be some interest, and it may be worthwhile if we have space.
Concrete.
All right, yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
Commissioner Martin. Mr. Resner? You
I don't
have
have anything.
Don't have anything, thanks though.
Wow. Citizen comment. I've already had one young man.
I'm gonna be quick.
I told him earlier, we thank you for your services.
Number one is a safety item. Good evening, everybody.
good evening.
Board. I've talked to young lady about as a safety issue at the traffic circle. One of the grates is gone. I witnessed a motorcyclist almost taking a spill right there because his wheel almost got caught. He corrected, but one of those grates, the water drains, is gone. The second item, and I haven't talked to Mr. Pitts about it, but I've called and talked to, who did I speak with, about the cleanliness of that circle. When the people come down there and cut the grass, they just leave everything there. It turns black. You go out there now, it's filthy. Okay, I'd like to know if somebody, I've also talked to DOT about it several times. I've talked to them about the grate, nothing's happened. I don't want to see anybody get hurt. I ride a motorcycle, but I know it's there. So people taking these motorcycle trips, when they come around that curve going north on 129 and they make a wide loop, that I think it's about maybe 18 inches wide, 24 inches wide, but it's not there. I'm wondering if anybody, you say you emailed?
The two people at the department.
And I spoke to one of the foremen out there on the scene and showed it to him.
Yeah.
And nothing's been done. This has been about 3 months now. So I'm just wondering if anybody could get them on the ball, get that grate replaced, and clean up that area down there.
We've got 800 number that we can call into on that, remember we did it tour of Thomas? Yeah. And that was where, I can make a call next week too.
Okay. I would appreciate it. I don't want to see anybody get hurt, especially a motorcyclist, because if he goes around there the wrong way, his wheel's going to get caught in that thing, and he's going to take a spill and possibly get run over by someone.
I'll be in a meeting tomorrow with some DOT guys. I'll see if I can't figure out who we need to
Poke the right one.
who we need to talk to about getting it fixed.
Fantastic. Second item is, I'd like to know if I put it on the agenda for the next meeting to put our trailer, our food trailer, on the golf course parking lot to sell dinners 2 Saturdays out of the month. That's the Sawmill Quarters. Deuce Black and myself are looking to get permission. We are insured, and we just take up a little space somewhere off to the side just to sell dinners.
Right. Well, we're working on that. You're still working on that.
Well, the last meeting you all decided, so food trucks, trailers are not allowed at this time. And we've been working on some ordinances to possibly allow them in some capacity. But at this point, we're waiting to meet with the city so that we can have mutual ordinances. So once that process is accomplished, you know, as long as you're in compliance with the ordinance, you can certainly, you know, as long as that complies. But right now, it's not allowed.
Give me a ballpark.
Tell them we're actually having a meeting on the 24th, if I'm not mistaken, unless it's changed. November the 24th at Tri-County, we're having the joint city-county Board of Education meeting.
Okay.
So if you can come.
Yeah,
please
I'll
come.
be there. And the time?
For the 24th.
Normally it's at 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock?
Tri-County?
Okay.
Yes.
24th at 6 o'clock.
That's all I have, and I appreciate you allowing me to speak for a second.
Thank you for coming.
And I hope that gets taken care of real soon, and maybe we need to have the Miss Debbie come out there and take some pictures and send them down to DOT or somebody, because somebody's going to get hurt there, and I don't want to see it. Okay? And I thank you. Thank you very much.
I'll move some of the guys tomorrow from GDOT. I'll figure out who we need to call.
Fantastic.
All
I
right.
appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Anyone else tonight?
Did he put on the record his name and address? I know, but we met everybody, so.
Good evening, John
Good
Wood,
evening.
Jones County Board of Tax Assessors. I wanted to thank Sam for listening and Daylon for listening last meeting when I spoke in need of members. Y'all came through. We got 2 new members tonight. I applaud you for that. Thank you, Board, for that.
Good.
I
Thank
look
y'all for
forward to
keeping us
meeting
on
new
our
members
toes.
Thursday.
Good deal. Thank you, John.
Anyone else tonight? Citizen comments? Mr. Martin, you want to start us off again tonight? Commissioner comments?
Absolutely. Just wanted to throw this out there. I know we talked about the roads list, but on the Jones County's page, some citizens mentioned some additional roads that I think are on the list but may not be. They had McKay Road, Old Highway 11, and then East Virginia Lane. So I know that I think Wendell or either Sydney and John are out there doing the assessments. Our citizens made that a point of reference on the Facebook page. So I'd like us to take a look at it, and then as we knock these 3 off, maybe we add 3 more back on, or when we get to that next process. So I just wanted to make it a matter of record. And And with that being said, that's all I got for tonight. Wish everybody best of luck.
All right, thank you. Commissioner Robinson?
No, sir, all is well.
All is well. Commissioner Pitt?
All is well, Mr. Chairman.
Wow, we're going. Oh.
I got a few things to talk about, Mr. Chairman. All is well with me. I hope everyone shows love and patience to the neighbors during these next couple of weeks, just like the guy said earlier. It's going to be trying times for everybody.
If there's any more business tonight, Mr. Pitts, I need your help again.
Mr. Chairman, to move motion to adjourn.
Anybody want to give me a second? Second? You gonna scare me for a minute. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All right, thank y'all. Thank everybody for coming.
Okay, all right.
Tommy, you won tonight.